additional value to the user, instead of giving him all kind of difficulties in filtering that out. On points of interest, or near Central Park, what we just heard, well, I know Central Park, I just don't know if that's the right area for my emotional state at that time. So I think if websites would make the differentiation and try to focus on the what, so what kind of emotion are you going to, where in the city, because I don't so specifically believe that you go somewhere completely different based on your budget. I think you have an idea. When are you going? Because people are quite flexible in travel, especially in holiday travel, right? We have a lot of data. We actually know when it's cheaper to travel. Flights do it already for a very long time. We don't still do it. That's quite crazy. And the last one is how much, right? It's very important for people to know if they are getting ripped off or not. Let's say it was cheating call. But I think that those four elements are very important in the user's orientation of what to choose. And if a website can focus around these and trying to elaborate and trying to make sure that the user takes those paths, by just showing them, for example, if they know a bit about the profile or if they know a bit about their experience, showing them the top 10 most romantic hotels in Madrid. Oh, that would help me if I would go with my girlfriend, right? Or this is the area where you need to stay if you want to go and have a lot of fun. Those kind of things, I think, really added value content is the things that we as OTAs can add value to. That's something also we are going to focus on in 2012. And bringing those values to the user, making it really helpful instead of giving them no limited amount of options.
I think that's a really good point. So, what do you find difficult in doing that? Is it data? Is it accessing the data itself, or is it something else?
I think it's real research. You need to focus on making sure that you are not giving that data generated by some kind of engine. We are very good, and I think everybody here is very good at making good algorithms and trying to, push the right hotel at the right moment. But I think that the users are a bit fed up of 2,000 results in the city. For example, London has 1,400 hotels. Nobody wants to dig into 1,400 hotels. I just want to make a very narrow list that is fitting my use. And I want to make sure that I don't pay too much. Those are the two things that I really would like to have as an assistant.
So one thing we observe at our end, which we find really useful, is a lot of people ask open-ended questions when they go into Google. So they will ask hotels in Europe, hotels in the UK, hotels in Spain, without being very specific. And if you see that, it gives you a sense that people are actually wanting to have much broader view before they start narrowing down. But because today there are no tools to give you a particular answer, people are forced to choose for themselves. So there was a reason I asked this question, because I can see that, and it's a pretty significant.
That's if you listen to the user, right? Yeah. But we all know Ford's famous sentence, if I would listen to my clients, I might make a faster horse. So it's not always true. You should always suggest. You go to a travel agent to be surprised. You're going to a travel agent to suggest. And that he or she asks the right question and bring you the right answer to you. So I agree with you, listening to your user is a very good tool. But it's not the best. It's not the thing that people want. iPhone is not invented by listening to people. iPhone is invented by a great visionary. That's how iPhone is invented.
So let's go further down there.
Okay.
So what you're effectively saying is the user is, listening to the user is good for certain things. The emotional part, the softer part of it.
Usability.
But don't ask them to design it, because they're not good at designing what they really want.
I think helping them, looking at what they really want, so not asking or not looking only at a fragmented data that is a user interface and trying to interpret that with data analysis, but really listen to the user. So what we do is, instead of only taking our analytical view of data, we started to use a lot of user testing so that people can tell and say what they really think at the specific moment. And you would notice down the path that everybody is actually trying to understand what you're telling them instead of trying to maneuver through your path. You understand the difference? So they are not going to 17 queries, making 17 queries because they understood it directly. And Hotel Finder would not solve that, because what they do is they start to search, indeed what you say, hotels in New York, and then they hotels in New York Central Park, and then hotels in New York Central Park Romantic, but still, that data is not generated by the OTAs, that it can be usefully integrated into a product such as a normal query search. Because a normal query search works on specific content data instead of on really research data.
John, what's your view on this?